Welcome back to the David Kurten Show here on today's News Talk TNT. And it's fantastic to welcome back to the show Madeleine Hunt, who is the Heritage Party General Secretary. Madeleine, welcome back.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here again. Thank you very much for having me.
No, it's really good to have you back on the show. We had a really good conversation last time about devolution and what that is and how that is affecting everyone around the country because the structure of local government is changing and they're getting a lot more power than they've had before. Now, you really look at what's going on and you read a lot of the information coming out from the government. There's all these documents all the time, so it's really hard to keep up with them. But what is the latest in the devolution and the leveling up agenda, and how's it going to affect us?
It's lots of happening because obviously they're speeding up the devolution. I think I have to start with a very important thing to explain what devolution is in very short kind of way. Devolution, and trust me on this, because otherwise you will never understand evolution. Devolution is a communist system. It's a communist system. It's completely the same what they've done before. And to describe the structure of the leveling up, what they're pushing on us, probably the best example will be United Europe, EU, because EU is devolved. That's how the UK is going to look. So the EU practically, even so this is so many countries joining one parliament, they are not really independent. They have to follow the instruction from the EU. So that's exactly how this is going to look here. We're going to have every single part and every single country. It's going to become like a smart city like London. That's the goal of the devolution. So what is happening recently, and it's really funny, tragically funny. I went to the council meeting because the council is supposed to consult people about the devolution. And obviously the consultation is happening, but nobody knows it's happening. So I even had yesterday some forum meeting with people because I try to spread the awareness that look on your council website, because the consultation is there. They're asking people if people approve new system in their area. But the problem is nobody understands what the system is all about. And it look beautiful, look wonderful. This is exactly the same promises what the communist system was giving people. It's exactly the same: build back better, great future, together we are stronger, even the same slogan. So this is urgent now to actually look on the website of your council and find if they're doing consultation about devolution. And if you find the consultation, simply just say no, 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 no. And when you have a window to make some comments, say, I can't really commit to this consultation because nobody never explained to me what devolution is all about. We approached the council leader and we asked him just a few days ago, because the deadline for a consultation, for example, in our area is 24th of March. So we asked him, why you asking people for a devolution if nobody never explained this? That is happening. And first of all, secondly, nobody knows the consultation exists. So the leader of the unitary council who progressing the devolution forward, he said, we don't really have councillors who understand the devolution, so we can explain this to people. Wow. So you see what is going on. They asking people to commit to something what they don't understand themselves. So what the latest...
No, please go ahead.
So
it's so complicated. It's so complicated that the councillors themselves don't understand the process and what's happening, which is quite shocking, isn't it? And I understand what's happening in your area is that you've got a number of councils. You've got a county council, you've got local district councils as well, but they're creating something called a combined county authority. Combined council authority, isn't it? Which is going to combine them together and give them some extra money. Is that what's happening?
It is what's happening exactly. So this is the unitary council, how this call it. That's the system what we had in Poland when the local administration become your government. So and this is several levels of the devolution. So devolution is happening in UK for a long time. And they have the target to achieve 60% of England in 2024 to be devolved, and we are nearly there. So practically in a couple of years, they want all country to be devolved. If the country is going to be devolved, we're going to have a republic, not United Kingdom anymore, because that's what they're heading for. So the first level of the devolution, we have 4 levels at the moment, but they're creating some extra level.
I'm getting this is a big thing you're going to explain here, the different levels of devolution. We're just going to have a quick news break first, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about these different levels because that's very important for people to understand. So this is today's News Talk. Welcome back to today's News Talk, TNT. And Madeleine Hunt, the General Secretary of the Heritage Party, is with me on the show. Welcome back, Madeleine. Now, we were just talking about devolution, and you were just starting to mention something which is to do with the structure of devolution. There's these different levels, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you say, most councillors don't even understand these different levels. My experience of devolution was when I was on the London Assembly. I was elected onto the London Assembly as a London Assembly member, but I didn't have any real power. All the power rested with the mayor, Sadiq Khan. He could do whatever he wanted and pretty much, unopposed. We could say that we didn't like what he was doing, but he could just turn around and say, well, I don't care, and just do it anyway. And that was what was happening in London. But what are these different levels that you've got, and how does that work?
I will go back to the mayor of London, why he have this power, because that's what they're trying to achieve everywhere. So it doesn't matter if they call the metro mayor the top leader or chief executive, they want to become a king of particular area. So the levels of the devolution, we have 4 levels. I especially make a note because this is so complicated. It's difficult to explain. So at the moment, we have 4 levels, and the first level, it's none of the council ever declared the first level because it's unnecessary. The first level is the preparation. It's preparing the council for taking next step in the devolution. So that means the council have to improve. It have to show that they can control the residents and they can implement some particular kind of new legislation and spend money on something what we probably don't know. So if they can achieve that, that means they are ready for a second level. So obviously none of the council ever go for a first level because they create pandemic. So, they all have this kind of particular training what they have to. So they was ready for a level 2. Level 2 of the devolution is mostly for the council which are slightly more advanced in the devolution already. So that's mean devolution. Well, let's go back on the fact that devolution based on the agenda. So every single thing what we know about the agenda, like a climate emergency, like immigration and equality, LGBT, the gender rights, that was all before that we heard about the devolution as we have now. So some of the area of UK already have a more immigration in their area for for quite a while. They already signed up to some housing developments. They build the houses more than other area in UK. So obviously London was the most advanced because they went through the devolution under the Hunt for many years. So then become the second level of the devolution was mostly happening in the big cities. And the countryside and the little wonderful historic towns was still a little bit behind. So because they leveling everything up, they now focusing on the other area, what was left. So that's why, if you remember, that was a few years ago, 2 years ago, that was lots of talk in the parliament that we don't have people don't integrate enough. We don't have immigrations in the Cornwall, in Devon, in other part of UK. This is so unfair. This is terrible for people because this is too many white people there, and they are so traditional. They're not progressing. So you see this area now, a few years ago, that went for the second level of the devolution. But because of the pandemic again, they managed to speed it up because they implement so many things on us. So we have to adopt the BLM, the LGBT. They make this so huge nationally. Yeah. So the council act under the emergency law. So at this point, they reached the level which the other town But in this,
Right.
the moment the other towns was progressing as well. Third level is for a more advanced. Then this is when the metro mayor came on. You couldn't achieve as a country, as a area, you couldn't achieve the third level practically when you don't have a metro mayor or the big leader, because they still keeping this possibility for them. This is something new that they didn't have the option before. So that is coming later. And four level is a kingdom practically. They have a
Okay,
full power.
right.
So
So
each level is giving particular powers.
yeah.
So the higher level of devolution, the more power the unitary council have.
I just a little light bulb switched on when you were talking, because they use this phrase leveling up. And when you hear it, it's presented to you in such a way that you think it's, oh, well, every area is going to have more money, more jobs, more support. But actually, what it means is going through the levels, level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Everyone's leveling up to level 4 devolution, which then means you're going to get all of the immigration, BLM, LGBT, then you're going to get a metro mayor and a combined authority, and then the metro mayor is going to assume all the power and be like a little Sadiq Khan. And England is going to be turned into 40 little fiefdoms, each one with their own little Sadiq Khan with all ultimate power. And then, London still has borough councils, and they still have a little bit of power over their area, but it's basically Sadiq Khan calls the shots on the most important things, on police and crime, on fire and emergency, and on transport, and on housing. So that's what they're creating. You've already got that in Scotland and Wales, because they've already got, the Senedd, and they've got Holyrood. So you've got those parliaments there that have ultimate power. The councils don't have much power in Scotland and Wales, but that's what they want to do in England as well. That's incredible. I didn't realize that is actually the real meaning of leveling up. So thank you, Madeleine. You've just turned a light bulb on to me there, to how it works. But what can people do about it? We've only got like 2 or 3 more minutes to talk to you, but how can people resist this and get involved in politics to try to stop this happening?
David, this is so difficult because I'm trying to explain this to people, and we have to openly talk about the devolution, what it is, because it is really a communist system. That's how communist system work. That's the leveling up is a communist system. If you've done amazing talk about Marxism, and that's exactly what they do. That's what they've done in the past. They was going through this level. The first level was the socialist, when you're still keeping paying people, paying the workers. So that's when you're leveling up, taking the power from the central government, while you're still employing people and paying them money. What they're heading for is to stop paying people and everyone become a slave. We own nothing and we will be happy. That's exactly what they're heading for. So what we can do at the moment, we have to keep our democracy. Hate the people in the government, don't hate the system what we have, because we need central government. If we don't have a central government, we don't have a democracy anymore. We're going to become a republic. So the only option is to join the Heritage Party. Forget about the Reform Party, because they was create their own purpose, where everyone knows that. So it's no secret. Hello, Reform Party, people know who you are. So forget about them. We are real people. The Heritage Party is real people. And if anyone is fighting for a particular area of the agenda, join us and we fight together, because then we actually could do something with the political status. If we do this separately, we're never going to achieve anything, because that's what they do. They separate people. They separate society. They actually putting fake global protests. Even the farmer protest is manipulated to some extent, and people should be so aware who they follow. So
Absolutely. Yeah, indeed, Madeleine. Very well said. I totally agree with everything you said there. Obviously, I'm the leader of the Heritage Party, and we are going to be standing in local elections on the 2nd of May. And we've just got some really good news because we've actually got two more councillors at parish level, one in Essex and one in Wiltshire, who are going to add to the great work that you're doing, Madeleine, and the other councillors we have in challenging the woke agenda, the climate emergency, and corruption which exists in local councils, and try to restore democracy and make councils work for ordinary people rather than spending loads of money putting in road blockages and things like this, which is what they seem to do. Anyway, look, Madeleine, thank you so much for joining me on the show again. I'd like to have you, I'll have you back again because you've got so much to say. And I think we need hours to explain everything.
We need to go through so many magazines like that, you know. I'm going to show you this.
That's it. That's where you can all see. I think you said it takes 14 hours or something to read it all and understand it all. So that's such a lot of information to take in. Now, Madeleine, thank you for coming on the show and joining me again. Good to see you. This is today's News Talk, TNT.